Starting in 2021, China and Iran have signed a 25-year cooperation agreement. This agreement aims to carry out large-scale investment in infrastructure, energy, communications, and other fields. The total investment is expected to reach an astonishing $4,100 million. However, this important strategic cooperation has attracted strong attention from the United States. In the face of deepening economic exchanges between China and Iran, the U.S. government has adopted a series of sanctions in an attempt to sever the economic ties between the two countries. Recently, the U.S. House of Representatives passed an energy bill targeting China and Iran with 383 votes. The bill prohibits China from purchasing Iranian oil and will face severe sanctions if it violates it. So, why did the United States make such a decision? If it is really implemented, what impact will it have on China and Iran? Oil, this black liquid, has been lying quietly deep in the Earth's crust for thousands of years, witnessing the changes in the world. Since humans unveiled its mystery in the 19th century, this sleeping dragon has awakened and changed the face of the world at an alarming rate. The main reason is that the widespread use of gasoline and diesel has enabled unimpeded transportation of cars, airplanes, ships, and other means of transportation, ensuring the normal operation of human society and the sustainable development of the economy. Petroleum derivatives, such as aviation kerosene, have become indispensable energy sources in air transportation. But the influence of petroleum goes far beyond that. Through refining and chemical processing, this black liquid can also be transformed into chemical fibers, synthetic rubber, plastics, fertilizers, pesticides, and other products, which are widely used in clothing, construction, transportation, agriculture, and many other fields. In 2013, China surpassed other countries and became the world's largest oil consumer. According to statistics, China's annual oil consumption is about 500 million tons, but domestic production can only cover 200 million tons of it. Faced with a huge gap between supply and demand, China had to import more than 300 million tons of oil from overseas to meet growing domestic demand. Iran, with its abundant oil resources and stable supply capacity, has become an important oil supplier to China. Over the past 5 years, China has imported more than 1 million barrels of oil per day from Iran. But now, China is facing a situation where it can no longer import oil from Iran. What is going on? On April 15, 2024, the U.S. House of Representatives passed an energy sanctions bill targeting China and Iran with an overwhelming majority of 383 votes in favor and 11 votes against. The bill primarily expands secondary sanctions against Iran, including banning all oil transactions with sanctioned Iranian banks. This means that any Chinese institution that attempts to purchase oil from Iran will face severe U.S. sanctions. Wall Street media predicts that if this bill is implemented, the price of gasoline in the United States may increase by 20 cents per gallon. This makes us very curious. Why would the United States take such action? One night in March 2024, the Israeli Air Force raided the Iranian embassy in Syria, causing serious damage to the embassy and killing 7 Iranian military personnel, including a senior officer. This incident aroused great anger among the Iranian people, and large-scale anti-Israel demonstrations quickly broke out in Tehran. The demonstrators held high anti-Israel slogans and strongly demanded that the government take measures to respond to this provocation. The Iranian government also stated that it will take all necessary measures to safeguard national dignity and security. It is worth noting that the United States and Israel have always maintained close cooperative relations, especially in the security field. After Israel attacked the Iranian embassy, the U.S. Congress quickly pushed for a new round of sanctions against Iran in an attempt to force Iran to submit through economic means. But Iran did not bow to pressure and instead launched ballistic missiles at Israel in April, demonstrating its determination and military capabilities. The United States interpreted this behavior as a challenge to its authority. We all know that Iran is a country rich in oil resources. It has the fourth largest oil reserves and the second largest natural gas reserves in the world. Oil and natural gas exports are an important pillar of its economy. China is the main destination for Iran's oil exports, with about 60% of its oil exported to China. Therefore, by cutting off Iran's oil exports through sanctions, the United States intends to weaken Iran's economy and reduce its military spending capabilities, which may cause serious damage to the Iranian economy or even collapse. So, will this U.S. energy bill have an impact on China and Iran? As early as 2021, China and Iran signed a 25-year strategic cooperation agreement. The agreement is extensive and covers many fields such as politics, economy, culture, and international affairs, with a project value of an astonishing $400 billion. In order to show its sincerity, Iran decided to promote this cooperation through oil settlement. Under the terms of the agreement, Iran's daily supply of oil to China will increase from 1 million barrels to 1.5 million barrels. Clearly, the U.S. sanctions bill does not appear to fully take this reality into account. On the other hand, although the United States has tried to pass legislation to ban China from buying Iranian oil, its global influence is actually gradually weakening. Enforcing this bill will not be easy for the United States, especially when it comes to intercepting oil tankers at sea. Whether the United States dares to use its naval fleet to take such radical action is obviously a question worth pondering. In addition, the United States' attempts to restrict China's purchase of Iranian oil by exerting pressure on financial and banking institutions also appear to be powerless. In fact, oil trade between China and the Middle East has gradually shifted to using RMB for settlement. This change not only reduces the role of the US dollar in oil trade, but also demonstrates China's determination and wisdom in maintaining its own energy security. Therefore, although the U.S. sanctions bill appears to be severe, it may encounter many difficulties and challenges during its implementation. Interestingly, this is not the first time that the United States has imposed sanctions on Iran. As early as 2021, Iran was frequently subject to U.S. economic and military sanctions due to geopolitical complexities. Even when the global epidemic was severe, Iran's medical system was not immune to U.S. sanctions. Despite facing severe challenges, the Iranian people have shown amazing resilience and unity. Instead of giving in, they have become more united and strive to revitalize the domestic economy and rebuild social order. Now, the United States has once again implemented a new sanctions bill in an attempt to suppress Iran even more severely. Therefore, from a historical perspective, this sanction strategy is not a golden rule for solving problems. Although these new bills may have an impact on Iran in the short term, in the long term, these measures are unlikely to fundamentally change Iran's position. A country with firm beliefs and strong national cohesion will not be easily destroyed by external pressure.